Hello, everyone. Welcome back after a short break. Today, our topic of discussion is relevance of Gandhiji in today's turbulent times. As the world struggles with authoritarian regimes, war, terrorism, and other forms of violence, Gandhiji's philosophy becomes all the more important. Gandhiji promoted nonviolence not just as a philosophy, but as a political strategy and as a means to achieve justice and change. Gandhian principles of nonviolence, self sufficiency, communal harmony, simple living, and truth find resonance in our daily existence. These are the principles that can never go out of sync with human existence. To speak more about Gandhiji and his ideas and principles, and how he is relevant in today's turbulent times, I will now request Sam Sir to address our audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyambada. Welcome to all our friends once again. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of break, and now we are starting a new series of conversations. Earlier, we were working on Sense with Sam. First, I want to thank my friend Sean for helping us and leading us into this. He was the real force behind launching this. He worked very hard, supported it, took a lot of beating from others, and I want to really personally thank him for all his effort. He had some personal things to take care of, and I wish him all the best. And I hope he can join us. And he's always in our mind and in our heart. So I want to sincerely thank Sean for the initiative. I'm delighted that Priyamvada is the continuity from Sean era to new, which is going to be supported by Upendra Solanki. Upendra is a software businessman out of Dallas, and you need someone to do a lot of background work on the platform, back office, preparing material, and that's a lot of work that Sean used to do that very few people noticed. I have a colleague of mine, Rakesh Patel, who has worked with me for a long time. Rakesh is always in the background. So Rakesh, Upendra, Priyamvada, and Swati from Upendra's group have put together this new format. And this is the first conversation on the new format. Now we are calling this Conversation with Sam. I want it to be more interactive. The Sense with Sam that was launched with the help of Sean really did over 50 weeks. And I hope this one also does at least what we did in the past and maybe more. So I'm going to take a little more time today to talk about the background and why, because I don't think we can finish discussion on Gandhi in one session. We may need multiple sessions. So once again, welcome to the new series, which we are going to be calling Conversations with Sam. And the purpose of this series is to really have an interactive dialogue with younger people as to their concerns, their aspirations, and their dreams. Some people ask me, why do you do these things? And the answer to that is, I want to interact with younger people. I'm 83 now, and I know that my clock is ticking, and whatever little wisdom, experience, understanding I have of the world, I want to share with younger people and at the same time hear them properly. So, there are four elements that we thought we will focus on as we go along with this series of conversations. One, what is beyond headlines in the media? Two, we will take a subject like relevance of Gandhi and have series of conversations. Then we will invite some experts on and off on a subject. It could be global warming, it could be economy, employment, technology, even Gandhi, because there are lots and lots of experts with huge amount of domain knowledge. Some of them are not really known, but they have deep understanding of their subject, and we want to benefit from them. Then we also want to talk about some of the past accomplishments and experiences from my own journey, whether it has to do with CDOT, CDAC, technology missions, knowledge commission, innovations in government, in business, because I have had a very interesting journey, not only as a telecom IT man, but also someone who has lived in America for 60 years and worked in India on and off with two important prime ministers, Rajiv Gandhi and Manmohan Singh. And in between, I worked with few other prime ministers like VP Singh, Narasimha Rao, Devi Gowda, Inder Gujral, even Chandrasekhar. So I had a front row seat to see politics, business, public sector, private sector, technology, and I want to share some of those experiences with you. So hopefully, these conversations will lead to better understanding of the challenges we are faced with. I am right now involved in various activities at global level. There is one where an Indian friend of ours, Nabat Khan, has been helping and leading, which has to do with global governance, global constitution. There is another one that I work with, Schiller Institute, where we had a 2.5 hour conversation yesterday on peace initiatives. And there were people from 55 countries. Then there is a conversation I participate on and off on Africa. There is a group of Wisdom Commission that I work with. So it has been a very interesting environment today where people are concerned about the fact that our world is at crossroads. Our world is at crossroads in many different ways. And that's the time to remember Gandhi. This is really a challenge for Gandhian view of the world. Many young people think, oh, Gandhi is obsolete. Gandhi's old ideas. Unfortunately, they don't understand Gandhi. Some will say, oh, Gandhi ignored his family. Gandhi was a once in 100-year kind of a personality. I have said many times that in my life, there are two heroes, Gandhi and Einstein. And we can talk about these things later on. But I believe Gandhi is more relevant today than ever before. And let's spend today a little more time on why and what is happening today. World is at crossroads in many different ways. And different people have different understanding of what is right, what is wrong, what is fair, what is unfair, what is happening, what is not happening. And we are really getting divided with very clear cut boundaries. Look at what is happening today in Ukraine, what happened and what is happening in Gaza and Somalia and other parts of Africa, Middle East. The world is basically on fire. Some of us don't see the heat because we are too far away. We have not been able to achieve peace after almost 75 years of UN. In many of these conversations, UN doesn't even figure in. I mean, right now we are having discussions at the highest level on Ukraine and Gaza, and UN has no seat at the table. So world is at crossroad once again because of wars. There are roughly 20 different wars going on right now. World is also at crossroads because authoritarian leaders have taken over in many parts of the world. Now it depends on what you call authoritarian leaders. Some may call them totally democratic. To me, in democracy, when people lose trust in election process, when only 30-40% of the people vote or 50% of the people vote. Recently, I saw in US election in one of the cities where only 10% of the people voted. And based on their votes, you have selected mayor and others. What about 90% who didn't vote? So I think one big challenge in democracy still is election process. Are elections fair? Are elections are held with technology, paper ballot, voting lists, counting? Are you counting the vote that I'm casting? So there are lots of questions in democracy when it comes to election. Second, and to me, one of the most important issues in democracy is institutions. Are our institutions independent? Or they are really taking orders from the leaders, whether it is judiciary or police, income tax, and many other, including universities. I can tell you in my own case, if I have to speak at the university in India, vice chancellor would be in panic. Now, I'm not a very sort of well-known person. Why should somebody be really concerned about someone like me speaking to students? But vice chancellors would like to get okay from the high up in the government. Recently, I was speaking at the Ranchi IIT to almost several hundred students. and someone hacked in and started showing all the pornography, and we had to turn it off. Now, is that democracy? Is that fair? So I think institutional independence is at the core of democracy, where people can do normal things without worrying about interference. Third is civil society. Is civil society active? Can they criticize government? Do they have funding to operate? Or they are being harassed? Fourth is media. Is media fair? I can tell you in my cases, media just blows things out of proportion. Media lies. And they don't care about what it means to me, my family, my children. They just spread lies left and right. What I say versus what they think I said are two different things. And they are really trying to attack your image. If you go to my Wikipedia, you will see all about controversies created. It's all fake. Every controversy is fake. Everything is misrepresented. And the algorithms are created in such a way, or you're using algorithm in such a way that wrong things pop up. Your good work is never shown, lies appear, and over a period of time, your image get tarnished. And finally, when democracy is attacked, your mindset is also attacked. So logical, rational, scientific thinking vanishes. And race, religion, inequality takes on the main platform for debate. I mean, the amount of debate that goes on in India on religion is absolutely amazing, that we spend so much national energy on a subject which really doesn't need that kind of conversation. I wish we had same level of conversation on development, hunger, environmental blunders, homelessness, poverty, employment, inflation. But we are hiding all of these major challenges behind conversation on religion. World over, there is this phenomena that rich and powerful have come together. They've come together to really corner their interest and not allow other people to rise to really question inclusion and sustainability. Two very important aspects of Gandhian movement, of Gandhian thought. Gandhi always and always focused on inclusion, which include dignity, respect, equality, equity, participation, communication, collaboration, and sustainability. And that's where his economic policy, we'll go into that later on, comes in, which relates to decentralization, localization. Small is beautiful, creating local jobs. So today, world has moved away from a lot of these things. In addition, focus on labor, which really demand inclusion, equality, a share of the profit, has moved from most of the democratic countries to China. America decided to move labor to China so that they don't have to deal with labor unions and you can get cheaper product. And for last 20 years, America doesn't produce anything. For that matter, in manufacturing, I mean. For that matter, Europe gave up, India gave up on manufacturing, and all manufacturing has moved to China, mainly because they can deal with the labor issues. And labor is a very important part of democracy. In all democracies, the demands begins with labor. All movements basically begin with labor. So until some of this production comes to democracies, you are not going to have real democracies because there won't be jobs. And finally, when you look at the demography, you realize that world has changed completely. When I was born 80 years ago, the population was no more than 3 billion, even less than 3 billion, perhaps 2.5 billion. Today, global population is over 8 billion. When I started my work in telecom in India, the population of India was 650 million. Now it is more than double of that. When I was born, population of India was probably 300 million. Today it is almost 1.5 billion. In one lifetime, the population has increased 4 or 5 times. So what is coming now is population of Africa. It is believed that by 2100, no, 2200, by end of this century, the population of Africa will be close to 4 billion out of 10 billion. Now, if we don't focus on Africa today, it is going to explode. So all of these things basically tell us that we need new thinking. And new thinking really comes from Gandhian thoughts. Many people are saying, why are we at crossroads? What really happened? How did we get here? I mean, these are the questions many people are asking, and different people have different answers. I don't think there is one answer. Because in a lot of these issues, the answer depends on where are you looking from. Are you looking from the top, bottom, sideway, from east, from west? And answers change. And that's the beauty of diversity. We look at things very differently. And when people get stuck with their own one view, we begin conflict. Conflict in Ukraine is same. Conflict in Gaza and Israel is same. Because people have one view and they are just not willing to change and negotiate. It is a matter of shame that we go to wars with machine guns and tanks and bombs to kill people because we are not capable of having a conversation across the table to sort out our problems. That means we haven't civilized enough. We are still barbaric in our approach to problem solving. And Gandhi would have taken completely different approach to a lot of these things. So, why are we here? And I'm spending more time on this than on Gandhi in the beginning because I think we need to come to some clarity on what is going on in the world. And then we can talk more about why Gandhi is more relevant. So, in a sense, earlier we had a bipolar world where you had Soviet Union and America. Today, we almost have a sort of one view which says world is unipolar. America is the only power, and whatever America says, everybody should agree to. And you see that in Trump's approach to the foreign policy. I mean, recently I heard that Trump sent his envoy and said to Ukraine, you sign this document where we have right to your mining assets. Then there is a conversation on taking over Gaza. This whole thing comes from the fact that I'm the only power. And I'm going to decide what is good for the world. And I will take charge because I have the war machine behind me. I have the biggest military, technology, bombs, stockpile, and I can dictate to anybody what I want. Gandhi would have reacted to this kind of a world. So rather than networking nations, which many people call multipolar world, I would like to call networking. We are really creating a very authoritarian view of the leadership. Everywhere, leaders, their character, their values, their approach is of concern to people, but people don't speak up. People are afraid and they follow the leader. Very few people question today because if you question, they'll come after you. And that's not democracy. That's not freedom of speech, human rights, equality. And that's what is going on in the world today. In addition, technology has changed everything. Social media has been taken over by bad actors. AI adds to that fire by creating all kinds of material that looks genuine, and then you can attack anybody on anything. And you wind up spending so much time. Every time something happens to me, people say, why don't you defend it? I said, no, I don't defend it. I don't want to get into it. Okay. Because it will be too much of an effort for me. It'll be time consuming. And if somebody wants to attack with misinformation, allegations, that's their privilege. Because they must have some motive. I have no motive to attack anybody. I'm busy with my own life. And I'm sure there are many of you who feel the same way. So technology has created a huge problem, especially social media, where everybody is in social media with all kinds of opinions, all kinds of chats going on, back and forth, and it just goes wild. And people are spending hours and hours rather than doing some meaningful work, they are hooked onto social media, whether it is entertainment, pornography, talking to friends, watching some videos. There is too much time spent on social media. And I don't know how much of that is productive. Social media was designed to create societies where you can communicate to improve productivity, efficiency, reduce cost, and enrich your knowledge, improve your education, take care of your health. As opposed to now, social media has turned out to be entertainment, attacks, misinformation, lies, innuendos, hate, fear, and all of these things sell. It has happened because the bad elements have taken over. And that's why it is important for us to focus on really values and characters. And that's where Gandhi comes in. Gandhi means different things to different people. Gandhi is not just one idea. To me, Gandhi is not a person anymore. Gandhi is a way of life. Gandhi is an idea. Gandhi is a philosophy. Gandhi is a character. Gandhi is values. So Gandhi means different things to different people. And today, Gandhi is more relevant because world is looking for solution. And solution lies, to me, in character and values. We have lost our character. We are always chasing profits and power. And I've said this many, many times, that in the process, we have lost track of real issues related to planet and people. At the end of the day, life is all about people. You want friends, families, somebody to talk to, somebody to connect. You want people to love you, care for you. Isolation, alienation has created a lot of mental problems all over the world. I mean, look at the drug. The drug challenge, even in America and India and everywhere else, is a major challenge. Why do people take drug? Because they don't get enough stimulation from their social contacts, friends, family. They feel they are rejected and they are looking for highs in life. And it has become a multi-billion dollar business, crime, you name it. Again, that's where Gandhi comes in. So Gandhi, on one hand, meant different things or means different things to different people. To me, I've experienced Gandhi all my life in a different way. I was born in 1942. I've said this many times. And in British Raj, just before independence, the mood was set by Gandhiji. Gandhi was the real leader. No matter what some other people say, Gandhi really was the key to independence. And Gandhi provided the leadership, the values. He was ultimately the father of the nation. He was a leader, he was a fakir, he was a phenomena, and he was a concept. He decolonized not only India, but the entire world. He was responsible for the end of British Raj. He was a promoter of non-violence. He wore no uniforms, commanded no army, had no government position, but he led the biggest independence movement in the history of the world. And he single handedly helped decolonize the world. His contribution is not just about India. We hear about Mandela, we hear about Martin Luther King, we hear about many other leaders. He was a thought, as we call in Hindi, vichar. And Congress party is all about Gandhian thought. Though I do want to emphasize that these conversations have nothing to do with party, nothing to do with politics. It has to do with open, honest conversations between friends. I am talking to you in my personal capacity. I want to have this conversation as an individual. To me, Gandhi is all about simplicity, sense of sacrifice, service to people, unconditional love for all human beings, with real concern for minorities, poor, and people at the bottom of the economic pyramid. Real concern for truth and absolute truth. Truth is very difficult to find. Today in social media age, I request everyone to find their own truth. And it's not easy. Don't listen to what you see or what you hear on social media. It is not true. It's very easy to create an image which looks very real, and you probably believe this happened. So you got to find your truth and you've got to ask questions saying, is it possible? Could it be real? Does it really affect me? To me, Gandhi had one standard of conduct in public and private. Today, most of the leaders are hypocrites. They have a private sort of agenda and they have public agenda. Public agenda is to excite everybody and promise everything, and private agenda is to siphon off things, help your friends get rich and richer, and your family. Gandhi also had personal virtues and public values. Gandhi was transparent. It is this man that we'll be talking about. Gandhi had a very strong and stable self. He had global outlook. He was a modern man and he was a karma yogi. He looked weak in his frame, but he was very strong inside. I think this should be good enough to lay the stage for next conversation, where I will talk more about Gandhi as a leader, Gandhi in information technology culture, Gandhi as a communicator, Gandhi as an innovator, and Gandhi is more relevant today than ever before. Gandhi is more relevant to young, old, urban, rural, rich, and poor. Gandhi is relevant because of his emphasis on non-violence. There is a crisis of leadership in the world today. We need moral high ground and character. And that's where Gandhi comes in. So, with this, I want to stop here, open up for some conversation. And once again, thank Sean, thank Priyamvada, welcome Upendra, thank Rakesh and others for helping me out on this. And I hope we can open up for a little conversation. And I believe this platform is going to be revised as we go along. Right now, you can only just put questions through text and messages, but it's going to change hopefully. Upendra can tell you a little bit about it, and hopefully we will enhance this, learn from it, make mistakes, and work together on this. Over to you, Upendra and Priyamvada.
No, thank you so much, sir. Indeed, insightful conversation and views here. So we have several questions coming in. We'll start picking up questions. I think you partly addressed this question from Joydeep Ghosh. And the question is, how relevant is Gandhism in today's multi-polarized global society?
I think Gandhi is all about fundamentals. Fundamentals do not change. Character is so very critical. Moral, ethics don't change. Truth, trust, love don't change. So Gandhiism in a multipolar world or unipolar world demand same thing, non-violence, don't change. So Gandhiism would say if it is multipolar world or unipolar world, I want to emphasize non-violence, peace, equality, justice, diversity, truth, trust. And that's the foundation that we have lost. We have drifted away from this foundation into glamour, into making money, into competitiveness, into really getting instant gratification. And that's why Gandhiism is very relevant. Thank you, Joydeep.
Another question coming in from Suchil. How can we motivate people join with us Gandhism?
I think each one of us will have to first examine ourselves. Rather than trying to change somebody else, first we have to change ourselves. And when you change, your relatives will change. Your friends will change. They will see a change in you, that you are loving, caring, simple, open, transparent, welcoming. And they will see a change in your behavior. Saying, oh my God, look at this man or woman. They want to help others. They are so warm. They are so respectful. I think we have to change. Like Gandhi used to say, that you have to be the change. And if enough of us follow this, it will affect our families and friends. And they will say, oh my God, Suchil Pradhan has changed. Suchil is so warm and so friendly and so open and never gets irritated. And he's loving and caring. And they'll say, oh, maybe I need to change that too. People get irritated too quickly here. Everybody is ready to be hurt. Everybody is ready to fight, argue, raise their voice. You see it on debate on TV, Indian TV. There is no need for it. We can have a civilized conversation. And if people knew that Suchil Pradhan will have a civilized conversation, they will learn from it. So I would say, rather than worrying about motivating others, we got to set an example by ourselves. And it will automatically motivate others. Okay. Thank you.
It's rather a comment, and thanks for your comments and questions, J. Tamil Selvan. The comment is instead of speaking on Gandhi, speak more about good governance, and you'll get 100% support from all the voters.
I am
I'm
not,
sure
okay,
the
first of
comment
all,
is
let's, Tamil Selvam, thank you for your point. I'm not looking for votes. We can talk about good governance because it affects all of us. It is not about Gandhi versus good governance. Let's not assume that these are two different things. Okay. I would take Gandhi as a subject that we are talking now. Later on, we can take a subject as good governance. That's also a subject we can discuss, and I'm open to it. We'll have a longer conversation on good governance. So let's be clear on what is that we are talking. For a while, we are talking about relevance of Gandhi. So let's finish that, and then we'll talk about something else. Thank you. Next.
I'll bring this another one, a little off the topic, but again, the question from T. N. Upadhyay. Pranam, sir, you are a role model for all of us. I want to know how honestly and impartial working cultures start in our country. How can our country become manufacturing hub of the world in your views?
Thank you, Upadhyay. First of all, thank you for your generous comment. Um, I think once again, the work culture is there. I mean, people work very hard. Poor people, rickshawala, tangawala, farmer, coolie, they all work very hard, poor people. Okay. But when you go higher up in the hierarchy, people tend to enjoy their privilege perk and things change. For us to be a manufacturing hub, we got to produce something. What is that we produce today that world wants? Tell me. We got to have core competence. It could be textile, it could be food, it could be two-wheeler, but we got to decide that we have to be best of the best in the world in this area. And we haven't done that yet. Okay. We could be the food basket of the world if we want. Okay. Because we have such a diverse environment, soil, from east to west, north to south. Climate is very different. And we can take great advantage of it. For example, we don't produce any, I shouldn't say any, but we don't produce enough dry fruits, whether it is almond, pistachia, or whatever. I mean, that's a huge potential in India. We don't produce enough kesher. Okay. So there are lots of things to do, but we got to decide what is that we want to be good at. Okay. Next.
I think we'll wrap the session here today, Sam sir, just with a comment we'll come back with a new exciting topic for the next week. For any suggestions, do
We will continue with this topic next week because we have not really covered enough on Gandhi yet. So we will just talk more about Gandhi. Okay. And then we will decide what to do next. Okay. But next time I will also talk about some other issues of interest. And like you have been saying, Upendra, we need to talk about some of the past experiences. For example, very few people probably know about Gandhi Heritage Portal. You go Google Gandhi Heritage Portal. It was built during Dr. Manmohan Singh's time in collaboration with the Gandhi Ashram in Ahmedabad, where in one place you have all the information on Gandhiji, audio tapes, videos, magazines, his writings, literature. I mean, millions of documents, photographs. It's all there in one place. If you want to learn about Gandhi, it will take you probably weeks and weeks. Okay. So we'll talk about some of these things.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
any questions from your
yeah,
side?
yeah, sir. I have a question.
Please.
Is with the current scene all over the world, like you can see how the U.S. election went through and what the U.S. is going now. Similar situation in India. All your, businessmen getting along with the power and twisting the power for their own, benefits, where the businessmen corporate taxes are all, they don't pay any taxes while the common people suffer. So this scene is going all around the world. We see far right sentiment growing. You see far right emerging now in Germany, now in the US. Musk is promoting AFD, which is a very sad thing. So do you think this embedded hate within, there is a subtle hate in everyone, like people are starting to hate each other? That's why this whole thing of, people electing authoritarian regimes, which tend towards, little bit of fascism or authoritarian, you may call it. Why is this the scene all over the world, and how do you think Gandhiji's principles will help us? Because the youth being, no, they are in, I'm not sure if they are in connect with the Gandhiji's principles, like, so how do you think we can dismantle this whole scene? And you think is this just a phase, like, like a circle of life, that, we are going back again to the same where we started, like, we had British rule, then we had independence, now again we have like semi authoritarian rule. Now US is facing through the same. So my question is, how do you think Gandhiji's principles will help in dismantling this whole kind of oligarchy structure? And yeah.
Very good and very fundamental question, Priyambada. Thank you for asking. What I see as a layman is leftover of the decolonization. See, world got decolonized in a very short period of time. At that time, the Western power, which controlled most of the colonies, whether it was Dutch, Englishmen, Americans, French, German, all of these Western powers had their colonies, had their system set up, and everything got dismantled. Then people thought it really doesn't matter because these people are poor, they won't know how to rule, they will fumble, and you know they can never be our competition. We will control the wealth of the world. We will control mines in every country, we will control business in every country, and we will still remain very powerful. And it turned out that most of the countries elected dictatorial leaders in Africa and other places. Some went, like Pakistan and others, not just being a dictatorial, but also focus on religion and not on secular uh, idea of democracy. And everyone was okay, saying they're still very poor, nothing to worry. Then comes China, and China expands and grows so very fast that now Western world is saying, wait a minute, these people are capable. First it was China, now it's going to be India. And when they grow, our pie is going to be smaller and smaller. And they are afraid that decolonization has created to them new financial power. I mean, Trump talks about BRICS. Okay. So many people see their profit and their power diminishing or being shared by others. And it's a knee jerk reaction saying, let the rich and powerful everywhere come together to protect their wealth and their power. The globalization means that global reach will come together. You look at World Economic Forum, it's a global reach coming together. Okay. So the process that is going on right now is that global rich have come together and said, in our own country, let's elect powerful dictatorial leader who will be with us and protect our territory. So we'll remain and become richer at the cost of labor, at the cost of others, and keep others out. I think it's a transient phenomenon because ultimately, I firmly believe that democracy will win because democracy is all about empowering human beings. Democracy is about empowering every individual with freedom, respect, dignity, justice. And that's the experience every person wants. So I think the ultimate route to fulfillment lie in democracy. China will figure that out ultimately, and other countries will also figure it out ultimately from their angle. So I think this is a transient phenomena. It may last 20 years, it may last 25 years. In human history, we will say 75 years after decolonization, 25 years were spent in trying to bring back another kind of colonization by rich and powerful, not by kings and queens. And that also failed. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but this is my wishful thinking. I mean, one could have just whole session on this question, Premvada. It's a deep question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Okay. I think we have spent about an hour,
Yeah.
so this may be a good time. I hope this was useful.
Yes, sir. It was. We got like 200 plus views on YouTube, and there are quite like a few comments on LinkedIn and Facebook. We just took the questions. We didn't take the just the comments
Now we
because
will do it like Upendra said, he's going to modify and upgrade so
yeah,
people will ask questions and make it more interactive.
of course. Yeah. Yes, sir.
But thanks, everybody. Really appreciate your time and thank Upendra, Premvada, Rakesh, and others. And once again, thank Sean.
Yes, sir.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. See you next week. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Thanks for the help.
Thanks.